They released their annual imaging flagship, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, ahead of everyone else. This device came out more than 2 months earlier than the previous generation, 2 Ultra models in just 1 year. So what new things does the Xiaomi 17 Ultra bring this time? My first impression picking up the 17 Ultra was that it still feels like an Ultra. The familiar Ultra logo in the top right and the signature red lens ring unique to Ultra. But this time they focused on how it feels in hand. At 8.29mm thick, it's the thinnest Ultra, and dimensions are optimized. Holding it, the Ultra's known heavy feel is noticeably reduced. Another thing worth mentioning is that this time the entire camera module has been shifted upward a bit, so the area you can grip with one hand is now larger. This is really important for an Ultra flagship model that uses an Oreo-style camera module. But honestly, the biggest change this generation is that Xiaomi has finally seen the light with this Ultra model and gone with a 6.9-inch flat display. This screen actually shares the same roots as the one on the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max. And there's another little detail. Xiaomi has made a tweak to the volume buttons on the 17 Ultra. They've made the volume button into a retro round shape. Fashion really does come full circle. Do you remember which phone last used a round volume button? The lines of the whole body have become even cleaner, and it also features the same R-corner baseband frame as the 17 series. So when you hold the 17 Ultra in your hand, you can really feel the design of this generation. Xiaomi is clearly aiming for simplicity and refinement. Every generation of Xiaomi's Ultra flagship always feels like it's pushing the limits when it comes to camera specs, but somehow Xiaomi always manages to bring something new and different with each new model. We've put the camera specs for this device up on the screen, but in actual use, even though there are fewer lenses, the experience doesn't seem any weaker. The 17 Ultra still uses a large 1-inch main sensor, and with the brand new ultra-high dynamic range technology, we directly compared sample shots with the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max. You can see that the 17 Ultra clearly leads in detail resolution and sharpness. When you zoom in, the textures of buildings are noticeably clearer. Even though the weather wasn't particularly good on the day we shot these photos, you can still see that the overall clarity and transparency of the 17 Ultra sample images are stronger. So how do you get great night shots? Most manufacturers currently rely on algorithms. The photos produced by these algorithms do look very clear and bright at first glance, but they often have a bit of a plastic feel. Xiaomi's approach for this device is to rely on powerful lens specs for night photography. The goal is to make night photos as pure and true to life as possible while minimizing the use of algorithms. For special scenes like shooting flames, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra even has dedicated scene adaptation. The brand new Light Hunter sensor brings a higher dynamic range. You can see in the sample that both the highlights at the center of the flame and the shadow details are preserved much better. This ultra-wide angle lens has a larger aperture compared to the 17 Pro Max and offers a wider field of view. The difference you experience in the sample photos is that in the same scene, the Ultra can capture a broader image, and thanks to the larger aperture, it also produces a brighter picture. For example, in this set of samples. While preserving sky details, the Ultra improves detail presentation in darker areas. Also, during sample photos, we noted its larger aperture ultra-wide lens allows flexible ISO in low light, reducing noisy images. The main upgrade is the telephoto lens. Its 200 million optical zoom addresses smartphone camera space limitations. Usually you can only choose between mid-telephoto and telephoto, or you get 2 compromised versions. But the thing is, both mid-telephoto and telephoto are used quite frequently in our daily lives. To solve this problem, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra offers a solution, a single lens. In the camera UI of the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, you'll notice that it specifically highlights 4 classic telephoto focal lengths, 3.2 times, 3.7 times, 3.9 times, and 4.3 times. So a single large sensor covering the mid to telephoto range sounds great, but how does it perform in use? Unlike the 17 Pro Max, which has a fixed 5 times zoom, the 17 Ultra's 4 focal length options offer more compositional flexibility and true optical zooms. See these outdoor building samples from a cloudy day. The Ultra's 200 megapixel sensor excels in resolution, and for color control, samples show flagship strength. More impressively, with its high standard of telephoto performance, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra achieves lossless zoom across multiple focal lengths with no noticeable color shift. This is evident in indoor sample shots of a water glass under complex lighting. Color consistency across all focal lengths on the Xiaomi 17 Ultra is extremely uniform. So how does this telephoto lens perform at night? First, optical zoom allows for the ultimate combination of a large sensor and a wide aperture, even in the 75 to 100 millimeter range. Compared to the 17 Pro Max, you can see that the 17 Ultra controls highlights better, and image purity is on another level. When you zoom in, the 17 Ultra preserves details on the lighted signboard, keeping billboard text clear. The Xiaomi 17 Ultra delivers lossless zoom telephoto night photography. Comparing to the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max might seem unfair. These samples still show the impressive performance of the 200 megapixel large sensor telephoto on the Xiaomi 17 Ultra. It really does create a clear gap compared to the top-tier competitors. The purity of the sample images, the color, the preservation of shadow details, and the versatility of the focal lengths are all strong points of this generation's Ultra. And if you enable the 200 megapixel mode, you can get photos with even higher resolution. However, in comparison, I actually prefer the new approach of the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, live warning. Besides the main subject tracking you just saw, there's also red carpet tracking. And with the freeform tracking for atmosphere shots, the key point is that you can freely adjust the focal length while filming. From my experience with the Xiaomi 17 Ultra's already strong all-around imaging capabilities, its shooting options have become even more diverse. So in my opinion, this is a really impressive highlight feature. As for video, this phone supports up to 30 times zoom. And for telephoto video recording, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra also provides 4 golden focal length buttons. You can tell that Xiaomi really values this telephoto lens. The Ultra series in pursuit of top imaging hardware might have compromised in other areas. But with this generation, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra not only upgrades its imaging setup, but also improves the feel in hand and offers a more well-rounded configuration. Regarding the popular battery this year, Xiaomi upgrades to 6800 mAh. Though behind models focusing on battery life with 7000 or 8000 mAh batteries, on an Ultra device where space is critical, that's 800 mAh more than the 15 Ultra. This improvement is noticeable. With the 5th Gen Snapdragon 8 Supreme Edition processor and ultra-exclusive ring-shaped cold pump cooling system, tests show after 30 minutes of gaming, max temperature is just 38.8 degrees Celsius. After 2 hours of heavy use, 82% battery left. With 90-watt wired charging and 50-watt wireless charging, you can quickly top up. The Xiaomi 17 Ultra also supports 90-watt PPS fast charging, has triple waterproof certification, better speakers, and a more stable signal. Xiaomi built this device not just as a camera flagship, but an all-around flagship excelling in imaging. So what comes next? Let me share 2 bold predictions after my experience with the Xiaomi 17 Ultra. First, with this generation of the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, aside from the improvements in imaging, the overall feel and appearance have been comprehensively optimized. This means the Ultra model could appeal to a much broader audience. In fact, after the successful early launch strategy of the Xiaomi 17 series, this generation of the Xiaomi 17 Ultra is keeping up the momentum by taking advantage of both the New Year and Spring Festival holidays. For quite some time in the future, if you're looking to buy a new camera flagship, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra might just be the one. The only choice. So with these 2 factors combined, you can boldly predict whether it will continue the impressive track record of the 17 series, right? Alright, this episode on the Xiaomi 17. I'm Geek Village Chief. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.